Oh boy. It's Ghost in the Snoot. Made by, who was it again? By Arlock. Oh no, it's that guy! For those who don't know, we've already seen some of Arlock's work. We've already seen some of Arlock's work. Which one was it again? I think it was Tory Game, yeah. I think Wani Hug, Wani Kiss, definitely did a better job than Tory Game at... Like, sure, it took Wani Kiss a while to get there, but once it was there, it was there. It had arrived. Reinforcements have arrived. Anyway, we're in a spooky ghost land, so we're gonna put on some of the spooky ghost music that's in Rainworld, because Rainworld has a good soundtrack. And fuck it, man, I wanna let you listen in a little bit. And also, why not explore a little bit of Rainworld soundtrack as we listen to it? Because, you know, who needs an excuse, am I right, gamers? Anyway, this is probably Anon. I like this background. I like how it's not too complex. We're going for some nice basic stuff. I wonder how he did this. Did he use, like, posable dolls because it's silhouettes so you can do whatever? I mean, those feathers are probably copy-paste. I mean, I like it. That's some nice art. I like the bottom one. That's got a Rainworld-ass vibe, man. Not because of the rain, but because of, like, the whole foggy background, the very limited color palette. Like hot ziggity, I'm game. I don't like one thing, and that's that this one needs to have speed lines. The reason is that the rain and the background creates so much dynamicism in this image. And here we get nothing. We get fucking nothing here, right? We get nothing here. It's just Fang in the background. It is extremely flat. It is extremely non-dynamic, and this has got all the energy. Like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? You can't make it that lopsided. Anyway, if you're wondering, we got all these tags, but it doesn't include the tag. Hey, so we got fucking spooky ghosts in this one, and they're not, like, hallucinated, which is like, I feel you should have a tag for that, considering the base setting is not like that. But that's me. I have my standards, you have yours. My eyes slowly opened. Usual routine of my mornings. Why is it between fucking quotation marks? Is it not morning yet? Ugh, that's such a great way to start off, though. Not that it ever was consistent when I... Not that it was ever consistent when I came to. I feel like you should rephrase this a little bit. I feel like this could be a very punchy opening line, but you need to do this a little better. I don't know how to do it, though. Like, your opening line's gotta be a real, like, oh boy, something's happening. Something's going to happen. Admittedly, let me be 100% clear about this. I think both Wani Gator and Snoot Game, I think they both have terrible opening lines. So what do we got for Hug? We got just the fucking date. And then it goes, oh, I miss the temperate weather, and then he talks about sleeves. I get that it's really getting us into this, but Inco's fashion sense is not that important to the overall plot of the game. And it's such a slow-ass fucking... It talks about the weather. I guess it's supposed to make him feel vapid, but I feel like you're allowed to start off with the good stuff, man. Just fucking break my kneecaps with your opening line. Come on, do it. You know you want to. I want you to. Okay, why isn't it going to the next song? How do you set that up? No, I would like to go to the next one. How do I... There we go. So here we got first 2 days. Oh, wait, this is a little louder than I thought. We got the dates again. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with establishing where the fuck we are. Anon talks about the weather. I get it. We're setting the scene. But so far, we're like a sentence in, okay? He talks about how, oh man, the Marine's so weird. And like, Jesus fucking Christ, these take a while to take off. I don't know what to tell you, man. If you're gonna write a fanfic, start off with a good punchy line. Fucking sell me. Fucking introduce me to the character. Like, the opening lines are bad. I mean, admittedly, considering this mostly gets around through word of mouth and stuff, that's fine. Because you can have word of mouth compensate for that. But if you find this stuff in the wild, you're like, my god, just get to the fucking meat. Fucking sell me on your meat, butcher. Why is there salad in your display window? Oh wait, I think salad's part of it. No! That's not what a butcher does. Hold up. You know what? Fuck it. You know what? I'm gonna pick up a... God, hold on. I'm gonna find the closest book I can find. So, hold up. I got I got 4 books. I got Made in the Abyss. I can never find issue 3. They just don't sell them anymore. Admittedly, I know why. Goddamn. Fuck. I like how, look at how it starts off. It's like a mysterious and always points towards the far reaches of the sky, the star compass. It's a very cute first page. It shows off pretty good stuff. I don't know why the fuck the first half of this book is like written on this very. Why did they do that? And then the next page immediately shows you like the abyss. Like my god, What is this? I saw a girl with a compass. I'm like, oh, that's cute. It's like a really small. That's like, oh my god. One page is not a lot. Let's look back at these. All right. Like, how long does it take to get to the meat, right? How many text boxes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're kind of getting around 10. So we're like a paragraph and it's sort of starting to pick up. 12, 13, 14. Now we're getting to like another little nugget. It's kind of picking up slowly. And then we get, I can't even imagine the kind of hell the 6 months would have been. So at that point, we got it. And then he immediately deflects. And then we get the character moment, and we're like, okay. The problem I have with this opening that's a little bit obvious is that it's really, like, I understand that Anon's not supposed to be sympathetic as he is. He's supposed to be a big fat loser, and you're supposed to think he's the biggest fucking idiot in the room. But the way it's written, you're like, he kind of deserves this, and fuck this guy. And I get that that's the point. I mean, I get it. I'm personally, what would be a great way to do it? And then he's like, oh no, no one writes a reply. Oh shit, I didn't do that. And then it goes back to this slow taper again. I kind of get it. I mean, I just like a big punchy opening. I guess that's just who I am. Let's look at this one. We got Dream Park. Now, unfortunately, Dream Park's one of those things. They got a fucking dramatis personae. We got a bit of a slow burn here too, unfortunately. Trains had rated as a steel bar. However, I do like how this works because remember, this is written in like what, the 70s or something? It's like a really old book. Where's the print date on this? This is 1981, first edition. So it starts off and it talks about monorails. And then it talks about a train connection between New York and Dallas. So the thing I like about this is it immediately establishes this is the future, and things are a little funky. It talks about Chester, and then it talks about capital G gamers, and then it talks about Lore Master Henderson. We're 2 paragraphs in, and it's already like selling you on this weird world of like, what is a capital G gamer? What does a Lore Master do? What is with this train? Orbital velocity, that's fast. That's gotta be fast. And he talks about a heavy backpack, and there's a woman with him, and there's a leotard. Immediately, you're kind of sold in this really odd, esoteric world. Here's another one that I like a lot. This is unfortunately in Dutch. I'm gonna have to figure out how to fucking do this. Olivia B. Bummel by Martin Tote. I thought it was Martin! It's Martin. Fuck. God, what a fucking strong opening this is. We gotta. So this is written for a newspaper, and it's like a couple of paragraphs of text and like a comic strip of usually about 3 panels. Sometimes more, rarely, but there's not much space to work with here. And it starts off with 3 panels: an opulent mansion, the inside large, giant stonehead statues framing a fireplace, and there's like a dude sitting. And the final one's this little frog guy, because they're animal people in this, walking over to a telephone. So what's the opening paragraph like? How does this man tell us this is a fantastic story we should all engage with? Prosperity doesn't always bring happiness, and the higher you get, the more your prosperity, the more your finances, I guess, weigh down on you. Sorry, I'm trying my best to translate this on the fly. I love this guy because of how he represents things in like these very nice, straightforward things. The worst are those. The worst are those who are responsible for it. The big entrepreneurs who call themselves the upper boss, also known as the upper 10, the topmost 10. I think the topmost 10 would be a fantastic translation. The top 10 is also fun, but that's too listy. Topmost 10 got a little bit more. That feels more like people. They have retreated themselves in the Golden Mountains, and live a worried existence, shadowed by gigantic worries and stomach aches. What a fantastic way to start off your fucking story. It starts off with these fucking shady ass people who have so much money that they live in terror. You're immediately grasped. What a fantastic opening sentence. Man, I kind of want to take another one of that guy's books. And here's Full Metal Alchemist, which I guess is another one. We're just going to skip all the opening pages. And like, I don't know if this is the opening page. We're going to pretend it's not. It's like, Alfonsi, how could this have happened? Oh no. And the kid has missing a leg. And it's like, great. What a great way to set your fucking tone. And then the next one shows off really weird technology and talks about the children of God. There's no salvation. And it's such a weird, little off, little off. Next page, you see big suit man and little guy. Again, you start off, and he talks about it. It's a great way of selling your fucking setting, man. The problem, of course, is that Snoot Game and Wani don't really have a setting to talk about, and that's why I probably insert magic into this stuff, or racism, is because I just don't like the fact that the setting is so fucking boring. I'm going to talk about this in a minute, but I'm going to grab two more of those books of Martin Tungder, because again, the guy, I like his stuff. I like his stuff. If you're wondering which one I just wrote about, it is the Slight Mite, which I guess the best way to translate it is erosion mite or like decay mite. What would be a good term for that? I have to look up some synonyms for flea or mite and decay or erosion. Here we got the lead former. What a goofy name. And what a lovely front picture it is. One of the protagonists sitting in his cute little car, like filled to the brim with giant pipes, because people used to make plumbing out of lead. That's why it's called plumbing, because it's a plume boom. Look at these beautiful images. We got a distant vista of a little tower, a little turret. And from the little turret, a very weird-looking guy emerges. It's immediately like, where is this? Why does he live out here? What is he doing? Here we go. The western outcrops of the Black Mountains were supposedly inhabited in the older days. People can find abandoned mines and decaying castles there. And giant, overgrown garbage dumps indicated a lost civilization, but that's long ago. Nowadays, it sits abandoned between the high mountain tops. And even when spring comes, a few pale flowers are the only signs of life. What a great way to talk about this, especially with those upper images. In the other one, it was like these giant structures, these important people sitting in shadowy corners, concerned, running over the telephones. And here we got a lovely abandoned tower, and from it emerges a man. You've probably seen those images before you got to the text. You're like, you're talking about flowers, but there's a man in the picture. There's a man in the picture. There's a man in the picture. Who's that man? Who is this man that lives here where no one lives, supposedly? What a great way to open your fucking story. It's immediately a contradiction. The next one is called the Torn Viola. I have no idea how to translate that. They're like little violets, I guess? The angry violets? I think that's like the whole point of them. Man, it's been a while since I've read these. I need to read these again, but I got other things to read right now. I'm stuck on manga. This one's a bit more snappy. We got some very basic opening shots here. We got the protagonist sitting in his garden with his servant, his butler, I guess, and he's trimming the flowers, taking little clippings. And at the end, we see a character that he doesn't really get along with too well, showing up. The guy's a roaster because he's got a big ego, and he likes to think of himself as the fanciest guy. He also often talks in like little French things. One thing I really like about Martin Tonder is that his use of the Dutch language is he often just invents random fucking words. He just says like, here's a word, deal with it. He invented some words that we use nowadays too. It's fantastic. I wish I had such creativity with language as this guy does. The rear part of Bummel's garden was adjacent to the dark tree forest. The soil was highly fertile, and the light was dimmed, so that it was a great place to grow flowers. On a sunny day, in the afternoon of summer, there's a bit of a slow burn we got here. But I do like that it starts off with, a location. Some immediate, like, people are doing things. A beautiful afternoon, a beautiful day in the late summer. Lord Ollie moved, smiling through, I guess, the flower beds to grade his his growths. And then, look, we're getting a fucking point to go towards. He says, "Hey, you think we're gonna win a prize at the local flower festival?" And then his servant, of course, is like very optimistic. He's talking about chrysanthemums. And then, of course, the guy he doesn't get along with too much shows up. And he immediately provides a nice bit of counterforce. So we're immediately like, oh, there's a contest coming up. The guy thinks he's doing great. Other guy tells him that he's not doing great. And it's those insecurities that let him go along. And like, that's how you start off a good story, is you start off with something to grab you. And the problem with Wani and Snoot is they don't have a fucking setting to work with. It's like, oh, it's post-racism. It's like, it obviously wants to do something with racism. Obviously wants to have that connotation or context. And like, my God, just, if you're gonna write a fic, put most of your effort in that opening section, and like, keep your story consistent, and like, you've done most of the work that writers do right. You want to grab attention. You want to sell me on your premise. If you're, listen, there's one thing I'm going to tell you right now. It's really important. If you've got a big twist that fundamentally alters how your story functions, and it's not the central fucking point of the story for the twist to be revealed, introduce it in your first chapter or two. Like, the spooky ghost shit gets introduced in chapter 1 in this, if I recall correctly. Like, at the end we get a spooky ghost. It's like a spooky ghost. Which is like, thank you. You can't delay that. Because if you delay that, I'm going to be like, oh, it's a normal world. Everything's normal. And it's just hallucinating. And when you reveal it's a ghost, I'm like, the later you do that, the more I'm like, oh, that's fucking stupid. And if you do it at the end, I'm like, why hasn't this come up earlier? Like, your plot needs to show up when it's logical for it to show up. If the person reading is like, why hasn't this come up sooner? You need a good explanation or you're fucked. And I really don't like some people might say, well, Volcano High and everything, like the Volcano High has a lore, and the problem is that it doesn't have the time to actually explore any of that lore, but I guess it does the asteroid thing, so it still has like a premise, and it does it in chapter 1, so whatever, man. Goodbye Volcano High did this technically better, although I think its introduction is a bit more meh, because it's doing the whole fucking music intro thing, but it does immediately get you started off with LJ going like, oh, about the contest. Like, Goodbye Volcano High starts off really strong. Although, again, I do think the introduction should not start with a gameplay segment like that. That's a little bad. It's a little bit demanding, especially considering how irrelevant those segments are. Like, it's not the cold open that they think it is. What am I thinking of again? Like, Wani and Snoot do not have a setting. They don't have a setting. It's just modern day, and there happen to be dinosaurs, which is like... You might say, oh, but that's Pommel, right? You just told us that there's little frog dudes, and there's like a rooster guy. To some extent, what I really like about this is that the setting is like, it's just kind of the Netherlands of the time, but not at all. Like, it's, oh sure, there's like a little village nearby, but there's all these fucking weird-ass guys, like the topmost 10, you got those motherfuckers lounging around. You got magic, but like the magic is like the subtle, spooky, scary kind, where like you're not really sure what you're dealing with. There's people who will steal your face, because of loss of face being like a phrase of saying. Because it's release. So there's like a whole fucking story about like how that's something a guy does is he spooks and scares the shit out of you using a guy called a Plamoon who he finds in the nose like, oh, you scare the shit out of people by reflecting their worst fears onto them. And I love it. And I love it. And I think that the story gets resolved because like the one guy, like there's an artist and he's like, you know what? Ugh, you got an ugly mug there, buddy, but I'm okay. And he paints over. God! It's like conceptually sells me on this shit. I'm just saying that if your story is about spooky, scary ghosts, right, you should have a cold open that is talking, like, I feel like this would be so much stronger if you start off with Fang talking about being a spooky ghost. Not in concrete terms, but, like, abstract. Like Fang talking about waking up in bed or walking to school, and, like, they can't touch anything and they can't talk to anyone, and you create this mystery of, like, what's up with this person? And then we go to Anon, and it's like, she's dead, right? She's one of the dead people. But then why is she like this? Is she just haunting the place or is she a spooky ghost? And just, I feel like you're not selling the premise. No, why am I talking about this? This one's actually kind of meh. But it's fine. But it's meh. But it's fine. When are we getting to the fucking... Okay. When are we getting to this? When are we getting to the point? I mean, listen, I've already said this, Saffy. You've already said that if you're a fanfic work, you can just skip all that stuff because you have the benefit of everyone already knows what you're talking about. Which you still think is kind of lazy. Okay, it takes a while to get there, like a page. Let's say like a generous page. Which ain't bad. I already said that like Abyss takes like a page to get there. Man, I feel like if you really want to learn how to write or read, find a book and like read the start and the finish of chapters and just and then read the rest and like ask yourself how does all this connect, right? Don't do that with Gintama, because while I love Gintama, I feel like Gintama's the kind of thing where you could read the beginning and the end and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? How does any of this make sense? I think I'm going to make this its own chapter. We're going to have a chapter 0. Saffy talks endlessly about the fact that you need to start your story strong, and how he feels that, fuck! I'm so bad at this.